In the heart of India, there's a sacred forest with a deadly secret. They say if you enter after dark, you won't make it out alive. Every night, the trees themselves are said to come alive to dance with a god. But this is one performance mortals are forbidden to see. The price for a glimpse, your sanity, or your life? This is the chilling mystery of Nidhivan. In the ancient city of Mathura, down a winding lane in the holy town of Vrindavan, lies a place that seems to operate on a different set of rules. By day, it's a peaceful pilgrimage spot, a dense grove of trees where people come to pray and feel connected to something divine. But as the sun goes down, everything changes. The air grows heavy, the sounds of the day die out, and an ancient ritual begins. The gates to Nidivan are locked shut, because this isn't just any forest. It's a living temple, and believers say that every single night, Lord Krishna himself returns to this very spot. He comes to perform his divine dance, the Raas Leela, with his beloved Radha. It's a miracle not meant for human eyes, and the forest has its own ways of keeping that secret. Step inside Nidivan, and the first thing that hits you is the trees. They're like nothing else on earth. These aren't towering giants reaching for the sky. They're short and strangely twisted, with gnarled branches that grow downwards, back toward the sacred ground. They're all tangled together in pairs, creating a dense web that feels ancient and very much alive. These aren't just any trees either. They're tulsi, or holy basil, which are sacred in Hinduism. But you'll never see them grow like this anywhere else. So what's the explanation? Local belief will give you chills. They say these aren't trees at all. They are the gopis, the eternal companions of Lord Krishna. The legend says these devoted souls spend their days as trees, standing in silent prayer. But when night falls and the music of Krishna's flute calls out, they transform back into their true forms to join the divine dance. Each pair of twisted trees is a pair of gopis, forever locked in that celestial performance. The belief is so strong that no one dares to even snap a twig, fearing it would bring terrible misfortune. Whether it's a bizarre quirk of nature or a divine masquerade, the sight is hypnotic. The entire forest seems to be frozen in motion, leaning in as if waiting for a song that only it can hear. Think about a forest, especially in a vibrant country like India. You expect noise, right? The chirp of birds, the hum of insects, the chatter of monkeys. Vrindavan is famous for its monkeys. They're everywhere and they're bold. But in Nidivan, as evening approaches, something impossible happens. A deep, unnatural silence falls over the grove. After the last evening prayer, the priests clear everyone out. And they aren't the only ones who leave. In a ritual that baffles everyone who sees it, every single animal is said to abandon the forest. The monkeys that fearlessly swarm every other temple in the area. They flee Nidivan's walls as night falls. The birds, the peacocks, even the insects reportedly vanish, leaving a dead, eerie quiet in their wake. It's as if an invisible signal goes out, and the entire animal kingdom understands. This ground is now reserved. For the next few hours of darkness, Nidivan doesn't belong to them. It belongs to the gods. Deep inside the grove sits a small temple called the Rang Mahal, the Palace of Pleasure. It's believed to be the private chamber where Radha and Krishna rest after their long night of dancing. And what happens here might be the most compelling physical evidence in the entire mystery. Every single evening before locking the forest gates, the priests carry out a very specific ritual. They go inside the Rang Mahal and prepare the room. A bed is carefully made from sandalwood. Next to it they place a jug of fresh water, 2 small twigs used for brushing teeth, and freshly made pan as a refreshment. Sometimes, a sari and bangles are left for Radha. Once everything is perfectly in place, the priests lock the temple door from the outside, then go and lock the main gates of Nidivan. The entire complex is now sealed and empty. And yet, when the priests return in the morning and unlock the doors, the scene has completely changed. The perfectly made bed is crumpled, as if someone slept in it. The water has been drunk, the tooth twigs look used, and the pan is gone. The offerings are disturbed, clearly used by someone or something during the night. This has happened the same way for centuries. It's what turns the legend from a simple story into a recurring physical miracle. We're just scratching the surface of this mystery. If the secrets of Nidivan are pulling you in, make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on, because you don't want to miss what comes next. And drop a comment. What do you think is really going on inside that locked room every night? Once night falls, Nidivan is absolutely forbidden. The gates are locked. The forest is dark and supposedly empty of all life. But for the people living in the houses that border the forest, the night isn't always silent. Locals swear they hear things coming from the sealed-off grove. The most common story is of a faint, beautiful melody of a flute, believed to be played by Krishna himself. Sometimes that's followed by the sound of gungroos, the tiny bells worn on the ankles of Indian dancers. It's the sound of a celebration, a ghostly symphony playing out in a place that's supposed to be completely deserted. It's a chilling contradiction. A place known to be abandoned by every living creature, yet it produces sounds of joy and dance. The people who live in homes with windows facing the forest, they keep them shuttered tight after dark. No one dares to look. The sounds are a haunting reminder that whatever happens in Nidivan is a divine secret, meant to be heard from a distance, but never, ever seen. This leads us to the final, most terrifying piece of the puzzle. Why is it so important that no one enters after dark? What really happens to someone foolish enough to stay behind? The warnings, passed from one generation to the next, are brutally clear. Anyone who hides in the forest to witness the Raas Leela will not be alive to tell the story. According to legend, this isn't a punishment from an angry god. It's simply the consequence of a mortal being exposed to something so overwhelmingly divine. The spiritual energy of the Raas Leela is said to be so powerful that a human mind and body just can't handle it. The overload is instantaneous. Those who have dared to spy have been found the next morning in one of 3 states: dead, permanently blind, or driven completely insane, unable to ever speak or function again. Now, these stories aren't in any official records. They exist as folklore, but they're told with a chilling consistency by everyone in the area. They talk of curious tourists or arrogant individuals who hid in the grove before the gates were locked for the night. And in every single telling, the ending is the same. This curse is the ultimate guardian of Nidivan. It's why the gates are locked, why the windows are shuttered, and why the forest is left utterly alone each night. The price of seeing a god dance is one that no mortal can pay. For the thousands of devotees who walk through Nidivan, these aren't just mysteries, they're articles of faith. For them, Krishna's presence is a living reality they can feel in the air and see in the strange, beautiful trees. The priests and the locals don't speak of these events as if they're tall tales. To them, it's just the nightly rhythm of their sacred home. Of course, skeptics and scientists have tried to find rational explanations. Botanists say the bizarre downward growth of the trees might be due to the soil or a unique climate in the grove. Some guess that monkeys could be sneaking in and disturbing the offerings in the Rang Mahal. But that doesn't explain why those same monkeys reportedly abandon the forest every night. But here's the thing, no single scientific theory has ever been able to explain all the phenomena together. You might be able to explain the trees, but how do you explain the mass exodus of wildlife? How do you explain the collective experience of hearing music coming from an empty space? For many, Nidivan is a place where faith simply becomes more important than proof. Nidivan remains a place caught between 2 worlds. A forest of dancing trees that aren't trees, a silent grove that echoes with phantom music, and a sacred ground protected by a lethal curse. It stands as a monument to the power of belief, a place where millions are certain that a god still returns to dance every single night. The mysteries of the vanishing animals, the disturbed offerings, and the grim fate of those who stay behind, are all part of a story that has been told for centuries. So, what is Nidivan? A portal to another dimension? Or just a story so powerful it has bent reality around it? Perhaps the truth isn't something you can find with your eyes. Perhaps it's a secret, locked away each night in the heart of this sacred and very forbidden forest. What's your theory on Nidivan? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this dive into the unknown, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more journeys into the world's greatest mysteries. Thanks for watching.